Don't purchase a Ford car? Stop now. A bombshell has recently dumped on greedy dealers by Ford's CEO. Dealers risk permanent closure if they continue with their outrageous markups. Customers of Ford were forced to spend an astounding $36 billion extra in markups in 2023 alone, with dealers charging an eye-watering $30,000 above the list price. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, has had enough. Not only did he provide a severe warning, but he also revealed a covert business plan that would alter the way you purchase automobiles. Ford electric vehicles are being marketed at absurd prices, almost $100,000. Whether it's a Maverick, a Mustang, or an F-150 Lightning, these absurd dealer markups are killing Ford. However, why is the top automaker in America experiencing a problem in profitability? Is it too late to make this right for Ford? And what precisely is the focus of their brand new distinct company plan? This is precisely what happened. Ford is launching their new innovative agency model with great vigor. This is a seismic upheaval that will alter the car industry forever. This goes beyond just adjusting the current setup. The fundamental viability of conventional dealerships is being threatened by this makeover. Dealers will no longer force you to purchase pointless optional items. No more extra fees or markups because of limited availability. Ford is firing dealers because it has finally listened to the average person. Ford's actions are planned reaction to the industry's widespread escalation of dealership prices. Ford has established a new norm with a single unambiguous message, and dealers who earlier prospered on large markups are now facing certain death. The days of expensive cars are gone. Jim Farley, the CEO of Ford, is leading the corporation in the direction of a day when fair pricing is a commitment rather than merely a policy. This isn't only Ford's problem. Big dealership frauds are also affecting several businesses, including GM, Kia, and Toyota. However, more on that in a moment. But let's attempt to grasp how big of an issue this has been for manufacturers before I tell you how this new agency model is going to function. Customers of Ford have been particularly troubled by dealer markups, particularly with the introduction of new and well-liked vehicles like the all-electric F-150 Lightning and the Ford Bronco. Deal markups ranging from $10,000 to $30,000 above MSRP have been documented, with some extreme examples reporting markups exceeding $100,000. This is particularly bad when it comes to less expensive pickups, such as the Maverick, where markups of up to $15,000. They are making an attempt to switch to electric cars, but the demand just isn't meeting their expectations. Approximately 92,000 NEVs are beginning to languish unsold on dealer lots. Another concerning aspect is that Ford seems to be losing money on these sales. An industry specialist doesn't need to be there to see that this is unsustainable in the long term, and dealer markups are now further alienating their clientele. It will probably drive away prospective customers when dealers tack on thousands to the price tags, making it much harder for Ford to sell these electric cars. The EV division's financial losses, which are estimated to be approximately $4.05 billion, combined with the layoffs, are also having a negative impact. There appears to be a cascading impact. There's terrible news after bad news. And here's the thing. Folks are so mad about these dealer scams that they've created an entire website, markups.org, to chronicle them. Similar to Yelp, except for reporting dishonest sellers. For everyone to see, they are publicly criticizing these price-gouging vendors. Does the insanity cease, though? Not at all. Last-minute markups are also hurting those who bought Broncos. After a year of waiting for your ideal automobile, imagine being informed, surprise, that you'll need to pay an additional $10,000. And let's not even talk about the F-150 Lightning. Prices are being hiked by dealers to extreme lengths. The CEO of Ford is yelling into the abyss for dealers to stop, yet some of them choose not to listen. However, even Jim Farley hasn't been entirely honest. Although 10 of the 3,000 dealerships in the US network, according to him, charge more than the sticker price, how can this amount of difference account for $35 billion in losses? In order to protect you against fraud, I'll inform you about 10 autos toward the end that presently have the highest dealer markups. Even worse is General Motors. Their CEO receives a compensation of $29 million annually, and on their corporate website, she orders the dealers to impose extra dealer markups, or ADEM. However, the MSRP and ADEM were clearly specified in the past. GM now shows a net price that includes dealer fees without providing buyers with precise breakdowns, which might be deceptive. Surprisingly, Kia is seeing the most average markups in the car sector. Right now, Kia cars are selling for around 6 more than the recommended retail price, with certain models, like the Telluride and Carnival minivans, selling for more than that average. Dealer markups are a growing problem for other businesses as well, having a negative effect on customer happiness and brand loyalty. Customer happiness has declined significantly for the first time in over 10 years, according to a J.D. Power analysis on the 2022 Sales Satisfaction Index. Customers who purchase mass-market vehicles suffer more from markups than those who purchase luxury vehicles. Of them, 25 pay more than MSRP, while only 19 do so for premium vehicles. Among mass-market brands, Buick, Dodge, and Subaru had the best sales satisfaction ratings, while Toyota, Hyundai, and Kia had the lowest. Customer satisfaction for premium brands was highest for Alfa Romeo, Porsche, and Lexus, but lower for Genesis, Volvo, and Audi. But at last, in response to several inquiries from prospective purchasers, Jim Farley has done something that nobody could have predicted. To safeguard the reputation of the company and its clientele, he has taken decisive action. Enforcing tougher guidelines for their order name matching policy is the first stage in his approach. Ensuring that the person who places an order for a Ford vehicle receives the vehicle is the main goal, not another person who enters the dealership prepared to spend more. Ford had a policy that 70 of its vehicles should be delivered to the original purchasers. However, they have now raised the threshold to 75E, making it even more stringent. This implies that in order to avoid selling the automobile to a third party at a greater price, the dealers must exercise extreme caution while selling it to the original customer. Dealers risk facing harsh penalties if they violate this regulation. They risk losing their ability to sell certain Ford vehicles for an entire month if they violate this regulation 3 times. Additionally, they risk losing access to Ford's exclusive program for reliable dealers if they continue to breach it. Their agency sales strategy was the second, and maybe the most significant development that rocked the market. Significant shift brought out by Ford's British chair Tim Slatter. With this agency model, dealerships will get a fixed payment for each vehicle they sell, as opposed to purchasing automobiles from Ford and selling them to you for whatever price they want. Ford is attempting to maintain customer fairness by taking this action, preventing them from having to pay exorbitant costs, as Tesla has already been doing. The last and third stage is a strong warning to dealers to cease automobile distribution in the event that they are now found out. For a whole year, Ford won't be delivering any F-150 Lightning vehicles to dealerships. Additionally, Ford is stating that they would support the dealers if they need the customer to sign a contract promising not to sell the vehicle for a full year. Their goal is to dissuade customers from purchasing the vehicle and then immediately selling it for a profit. I have a bonus for you now that you are aware of the current situation at Ford. If you're searching for a decent price on a new automobile right now, the Jeep Wrangler Unlimited is one of the cars you should absolutely avoid. The product, which had an MSRE of $41,966, is now being offered for an average of $54,970, a startling 31 markup. The MSRP of the Mini Hardtop, which comes in 2 and 4-door models, is $29,632, while the average cost for customers is $37,237. Next up is the Genesis Give 70, which has a $45,568 MSRP. But there has been a 25 markup, as seen by the average selling price rising to $56,974. At $58,716 MSRP, the Cadillac CT4V has a substantially lower average selling price of $72,622, a 23.7% increase. The Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid isn't far behind, with an average price of $33,951, or a 21.3% markup, surpassing its MSRP of $27,996. The Mercedes-Benz GLB, B, Mercedes-Benz E-Class, Porsche Macan, and Lexus RX 350 are a few other vehicles to stay away from. Tension is clearly felt as everyone watches for Ford's next move. The corporation has reversed the situation with its audacious plan to impose an agency model. By imposing stringent new regulations on them or threatening to withhold automobiles from them, they want to dissuade such dealers. Additionally, they want to ensure that you only pay the car's actual value, not a cent more with their new agency model. What about the purchasers like us? Will we accept Ford's new approach to automobile sales? Or will we continue working with the traditional dealers? Tell me in the comments section below. We just posted a video on important news that might harm the electric vehicle market as a whole. If you want to be genuinely surprised by what's going to happen with EVs, definitely check it out.